Good afternoon. My name is Liegaba Alvin. As a group, we are going to be doing the number one mega junior primary school. We are from BBA 32. So we'll go first to the detailed start and put in the name of the company. Now the company name is Mega Junior School. Sometimes your legal name may differ from your company name, but that is in rare cases, but for most of the time, it is the same thing. So you say Mega Junior Primary School and you put it on both fields, like this. And then you go to if you have a tax ID, you input its street address and the like, you put them there. But for this case, you go to others. For country, you put other because this thing is mostly configured for the US. If you have your email and your website, you can also input those as well. The next thing you go to is to select your industry. Now, in our case, since this is a public school, as evidenced by the question, you will look for non-profit, because public schools are non-profits since they do not pay taxes for the most part. So after you put non-profit, you move on to the next part. How is it organized? Again, it's still a non-profit. You move on to that next thing. Then you say your fiscal year. Your fiscal year is how you record your statements. Are they from January to December, June to June? That is dependent on your organization. You do not need a password for this case, since this is for learning purposes, but ordinarily you need to set up an administrator password for security and to not have everyone in your financial statements. So you create your company file. You can decide where to save it. So for our case, we're going to save it on the desktop, and we're going to put it under our presentation, since this is a presentation. You save it, and then it will create a new company file. Depending on your computer, this might take a few minutes or a few seconds, as you can see it going through on ours. So just going to give it a second. Still working. So after that, you will now customize QuickBooks for your business. What do you sell? Both services and products. So in case the school sells textbooks later on in the future or anything else, you just include that. Do you charge sales tax? No, we are a non-profit. Do you want to create estimates? For the meantime, no. Do you want to track sales orders? Again, no. Some of these recommendations, you just follow them. Do you want to do billing statements? Yes, you're a school. For invoices, you can still put it there in case you might need them moving forward. Progress invoicing, no. Bills you owe, yes, you're a school. You give people their bills before at the beginning of the term. Do you want to track inventory? Yes, in case you have any actual physical inventory, and also for other records. Do you want to track time in QuickBooks? No, you do not need to. Do you have employees? You will put yes, we have W2 employees. Then you will set it up. The date to track your finances, you say at the beginning of this fiscal year, or if in the records that you've been given, you want that much further so that you can put in a lot more data, you can decide from there. Then it will show you the list of income and expense accounts that you have, and you can just go through them real quick to see whether they are the things that are required. And then you move forward, you finish the setup. After you've completed the setup, it's going to load, and based on the information that you've given it, it's going to organize some of those things. For this desktop setup, you can just close it to make your life simpler. New features, close that as well. So you'll come to the main page. The first thing you need to do, especially since we're a Ugandan company, is go to your preferences. Under your preferences, you're going to go to the currency side and say use more than one currency. You need to read these considerations carefully, but we're not going to go through that now. But in case you ever do go through them, you need to look at them carefully and see what it is that you're signing up for. You will view the other currencies that you have. You go to the Ugandan shilling, make it active, and you accept that. You go to OK, and it will now close and reopen with your new settings. You give it some time, again, depending on the strength of your computer. So after you're done with that, we are now going to go on to the next section of our question, which is inputting some of our closing balances, which are now our opening balances for this year. So you will go to your chart of accounts, expand it a bit, and then you will you will left click and create a new account. So this new account is a fixed asset account. This fixed asset, according to the question that we are given, is a motor van. You put in the name, its opening balance, that's its value. For the case of a fixed asset, that's 20 million. You put the date, that would be the first date of the fiscal year. That would be 1st January. Then you say okay, and then you put in save and new. So you create a new one. And if it brings you this warning, you will need to read through. So you can leave it there for the case of, as you continue to move forward, you might end up putting a wrong date. So in case you want it to warn you so that you prevent that, you will leave the warning there, but you can always remove it. Then you move on to the next thing, which is a bank account. So you come up here to your account type. It's a bank account, so you go to bank. The account name is a Centenary Bank. So you will input that, Centenary Bank. Then you can put its bank account number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the opening balance, which was 100 million, 100. Then you put the statement ending date. In the case of banks, we put the statement ending date because in a bank, your balance at the end of the year will automatically be your opening balance in the next year. And if it doesn't match up, then there's a problem with how your statements were done. So once you've input that, you go again still to save and new to create your next account. Again, you allow that. Then you go to your cash account. Your cash account, which is also under bank, you put in your opening balance, which was 21 million. Still the statement ending date. (31st). Put that there, and then save and new as well. And then the last account you're going to create is Stanbic Bank. Now for this transaction, it's going to be a little different from the rest because the opening balance came from the UPE grants account. So we're going to just open Stanbic Bank and close it. Then you will come to your banking, and then you say make a deposit. This is going to be for the government grant. So when they ask you where it's from, you say UPE, government grants. You enter that, there's a quick add. You add it there, then you say other. Then from which account it is, again you will say UPE government grants. And when you click enter, you will set it up quickly as an income account, and then you will continue and move forward with that. You will create a new account, save and close, and then you will put the amount that it is. This is 40 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 40 million, depending on how they gave it to you. Since it's as a deposit, you can put it as cash check depending on you. And then you will say save and close. The usual warning, you ignore that. And then you'll be able, once you've completed that, you'll be able to move forward with the other things.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Quote Ball, and I'll be taking you through the school's enrollment. It being an institution or a learning institution, of course, in its system, before it begins to receive anything, there has to be information, the mode of payment or how the cost is going to be like. So to put up the item, it being a school that is having both nursery and primary, we are going to put in the item list. So we'll go to list. You can either come to list or you come to items and services. So once you come in, down here you will see item. You click on it and then we'll say new. It's a learning institution, so it offers only a service. So we select service and the item name. So we look at it from the entire nursery, which is from baby to top. It has both day and boarding section. So we'll enter baby to top, day section, and the unit of measurement, we shall come here and select single. Next, and we come to select other. Next, and it being a school, it charges per term, so we'll put in term. We'll abbreviate it as TM, and then we'll finish. Then the rate. In the day section, let's say the school charges 110,000. But in what account will the money be going to? It's a school fees. So I'll click here and put school fees. School fees. Then you click enter. We'll set up. It is an income account, so we'll save. And then we come to next. The next one still, it's baby to top, boarding section, the unit of measurement is per term, the rate is 300. The account is school fees, then we're next. And then we shall go P1 to P3. Day. The unit of measurement is per term. The rate is 120. And we will next. P1 to P3, body, unit of measurement will still remain the same, it is per term, the rate is 300, the account is school fees. So next, and we go to P4 to P5. Day, the unit is term, and the rate is 130. School fees. Next, we'll go to P4, P5, body. Still select the unit of measurement is per term. The rate is 300. Next, come to P6, this section, still per term. The rate is 140. Next, and then page 6 boarding section, The unit of measurement remains the same. The rate is 400,000. Account remains school fees. Next. P7. Day section. The unit of measurement is per term. The rate is 200. Accounts remain school fees. The next. And then the P7 boarding section. Unit of measurement still remains per term. The rate is 500. Accounts remain school fees. And then we're okay. Now this is what the school offers. So any student that is enrolling for the school, it falls under here. And this is how the school is going to charge. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Nakwang Marina, and I am picking up from where my colleague stopped. On the question next, we have the sample school enrollment list, which has the names of the pupils. So this being a school, definitely our pupils are our customers. So we're going to go into the customers and then come, and because we're going to add each of these pupils as our customers, so we're going to input them name per name. Our first customer being Penzi Emily. We're going to adjust the date to the 1st of January. And then we shall go next. Then we shall continue with our next customer being Abaho Noah. And then we shall also adjust the date to the 1st of January. Okay. We go to the next customer being Agaba Rachel. Adjust the date to the 1st of Jan. Okay. Our next is Isabella Ariso. So we shall get new customer. Isabella Ariso. Adjust the date. Okay. Our next customer is Atim Ruth. But Atim Ruth has an opening balance according to the questions. These students had fees balances from the last year, so that will be the opening balance. Atim Ruth had 30,000. The reason why the other students did not have any opening balances is because they didn't bring any balances from the previous year. That's why none of them had an opening balance and only had name and date. But Atim Ruth and Mate Raymond, according to the question, do have. So that's why I have added. So it's going to give you a warning that it's past. It's more than 90 days in the past. You say yes, just because of the date. So we shall continue next to our next customer, who is Kadu Benjamin. Kadu Benjamin. Then we shall go ahead and adjust the date to the 1st of January. Okay. Our next is Otim Godwin, new customer. Otim Godwin. Our next is Mate Raymond. Mate Raymond, who had an opening balance or 50,000. And then change the date to the 1st. Okay. And our last one is Mohammed Kalumba. Doesn't have an opening balance, so we're only going to change the date to the 1st of January, and you'll say okay. Yeah, so I'm done putting in the students. My colleague is going to take you through to the next part.
Okay, thank you very much, Marina. My name is Raymond Chorokut, and I'm going to continue from where we have stopped. Basing on what has been done, I'm now going to have to input the class and their sections. Yeah, the classes and the sections of each of them. Yeah, and as I do that, I will still be putting in the the invoices for each. So I'm going to go to customers. I come to create the invoices. Yeah. So when I open this page, I will now come and first change the template to an Intuit service invoice, because we're dealing with a service company, the one we call the non-profit. So I will now come to the customer following my list. I will start with Penzi Emily. Yeah. Penzi Emily, same date. Penzi Emily is in baby day. So I'll come to baby day, and automatically the money will come in. Yes, let me just minimize this. Okay, automatically the money comes in. Then I proceed to save and new, so that I can add in the other. Now we are asked if the transaction, if we can accept this transaction that is more than 90 days. I'll say yes. To avoid more interruptions, I'm going to come to edit. I come to my preferences. I come to accounting, the company preferences. For the sake of learning purposes, I'm removing those 90 days reminders. Then I proceed with okay. Okay, back to it. I now come to Abahonua. Abahonua is in middle boarding. So I come under item, and then I choose middle boarding. That's it. Then I say save and new. Then I come and invoice for the next person. The next person is Agaba Rachel. I come to Agaba Rachel. Agaba Rachel is in top day. That is there. Top day. Yes. I come and save and new. I come and add Isabella Ariso. Isabella Ariso is in P1 boarding. I come and look for P1 boarding. There it is. I come and say save and new. The next person is Atim Ruth. Atim Ruth under item. Atim Ruth is in P2 day. P2 day. Yes, save and new. I come and add Kado Benjamin. Kado Benjamin. Kado Benjamin is in P3 day. P3 day. Save and new. I come and add the next person, which is Otim Godwin. Otim Godwin under item. Otim Godwin is in P5 boarding. P5 P5 boarding. 7 new. I come and add Mate Raymond. Mate Raymond is in P6 day. P6 day. 7 new. I come and add Muhammad Kalumba's class. Muhammad Kalumba is in P7 boarding. P7 boarding, and then I come and say 7 new. Or since it's the last person, I'll come and say 7 close. Let me invite my next colleague to come and proceed from where I stopped. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. This is Sonko Shafiq, going to take you through the part for fees payments. And when we are doing fees payments, you come to this part which says receive payments. But you only come to that part for receiving payments if at all the department that is responsible for receiving the payments has already made the invoices. Just to take you back small. Here, where we created invoices. So this is the part that shows that our invoices were created. So you just come and receive what? Payments. So we are going to receive our payments. So they are saying received from, the first transaction was Pens Emily. So we shall come and look for Pens Emily. Yeah, it will, since we have already created the invoice, so it will, and the class where Emily is falling under, it will just come directly. So it will come and the balance that Emily is supposed to what? To pay. So we tick yes, then we save and new. The next one was Agava Rachel, received from Agava Rachel. So Agava Rachel, then it will also reflect. But then they are saying he paid 100. He paid 100. So you come, clear him. He paid 100. Save and new. Then the next student was Isabello Isabello then said he paid 300. So we put the amount to 300,000. Then come to we pick, save and new. Okay. Then the last student was a team Godwin. So you come and select your team Godwin, balance, then you give him 140. That's the amount that he has paid. But then so we save and close since it is the last student. Okay. So after receiving these payments, you just go to deposit what? To deposit. So it will bring all the payments that you are supposed to what? To deposit. So you just come and select all. But then they are saying all payments were deposited into Centenary Bank. So this is okay. But then Centenary Bank, you choose Centenary Bank. Okay. So you save and close. So I'd like to invite my colleague to start from there.
So my name is Second Pauline. I'm going to continue from where Shafiq stopped from. Our next part of the question says government grant was spent as follows in January 2024, and it's giving the expenses. So we're going to make the general journal. Right click, make journal entries. So since this government grant expenses are under Stanbic Bank, shall come here. Our account, the first one we have is allowances. So since we don't have it here, we shall add new. It's an expense. We continue. It's allowances. We save and close. We are going to debit our allowances, and the amount is 1 million, and it's coming from Stanbic Bank. So Stanbic Bank will be credited. Then we save and new. So our next expense was utilities. We come under account. Let's type utilities. Add new. It's an expense. Continue. So it's utilities. Save and close. We're going to debit it with 18 million, and we shall credit Stanbic Bank with 18 million. Save and new, since we have another expense. Our next expense is staff houses renovation. We come and add new. Continue. It's staff houses renovation. So save it and close it. We shall debit it with 20 million, and we shall credit our Stanbic Bank with the same amount. We save and close since it's the last expense. So that is it. Let me invite my next colleague to take you through the following part.
Good afternoon. My name is Vanessa Tsongo. I'm going to go through the salaries. The following salaries expenses were also paid using the Centenary bank account on 30th January. The first employee is on Zimas Arejo, and I'm going to write the check because they use the bank to pay them. I'm coming to write checks. Then I'm choosing on bank account, I'm choosing Centenary Bank. Then pay to the order of, I'm writing the name of the employee. It's Onesimus Arejo. I'm clicking enter, then quick add. I choose employee because it's salary. Okay. Here they are warning us to ask if we can start using payroll. Now it's not now because we are just paying directly. We are coming to account. Account, we are choosing salaries because it is our expenses and we want them to follow under salary. Here we are checking if we have salaries account. It's not showing. We create one. There is setup, expense, continue, salaries account, save and close. It's created. Then we write the amount. The amount is 500,000. The date is 30th January. Then we finish for this employee. We are going save and new because we still have other employees. Yes, the second employee is Okech Albert. We write the name Okech Albert. Still, we didn't have him in our record. We create the same quick add. He's an employee. We choose employee, then OK. Not now. We still the same date, 30th January. Account, we still choose salary. Salaries account. The amount is still 500,000. 500,000. We also finish for him. After that, because after putting the amount on the screen or for the check, it's the amount immediately come also down under the salaries. We also save and new. We create for the next employee is Peter Amanya. It's the same for Centenary Bank. We write Peter Amanya. Next, enter quick add, which also choose again employee. OK. Not now. We go down. We choose same salaries. Then the amount is still 500,000. Yes. After 500,000, we finish for our employees. There were 3. Now we are going to save and close because we don't have any other employee to pay the salary. Save and close. Yeah, that is it. Let me invite my next colleague to keep going with the transactions. Thank you.
Yes, I'm going to proceed from where my colleague stopped. I'm next on to Sime. So the next transaction is, I'm handling this transaction on 4th of Feb, paid electricity and water bills amounting to 900,000 and 800,000 respectively, using Centenary Bank. So, of course, we shall move to the chart of accounts. Then we move to make general entries. So there we shall get the table. Shall press OK. We adjust our date first because the transaction happened on 4th of Feb. Yes, so here we shall, on accounts, we shall have Centenary Bank, which already have in our entries here. We shall credit it with 900,000. And then we shall have to, the other account is of course electricity, yeah. So since we don't have electricity here, we shall come and create an account for it. It's an expense. We continue. The account name will be electricity. Okay. So we save and close. So it will directly be debited. So the other expense is water bills. So we shall proceed. Of course, here we shall save and new. We shall proceed. The date you may not adjust because it's already 4th of Feb, which is as per the question. So we shall use the same procedures. Move on back to Centenary Bank. I will credit it with 800,000. And then the other account is water bills, but of course we don't have that. which I need to create the account, is an expense. Water bills. We save and close. As you can see, it is also directly debited. So that is our transaction, and it is already being reflected in our double entry. So we shall save and close, since that is what is required as of 4th of February. So I will invite my next colleague. I'll take you through the next transaction. Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Paul Omano, and I'll be attempting the next transaction. The next transaction says on 4th April 2024, the school participated in a community event where they spent 400,000. So in this case, we go to charts of accounts, open new. No, we don't open new. Pardon me. We make general entries. So in the general entries, we create a new account which we name community event. Community event. It's not an actual expense of the business. It is another expense of the business because it is not really affecting the production or the services being carried out into the business. So we have to put it under the other expenses. Say community event, save and close. We debit it with 400,000. You should notice that they did not give us a bank allocation, meaning this is a cash transaction. And in the beginning of this number, we added a cash account in the beginning, which we credit. And that's how we do it. We adjust the date. The date is 4th, as it's already here, 4th year. Then we save and close. Thank you. Let me invite the next person to attempt the number.
Good evening. My name is Mark Savavuma, and I'm here to take you through the last transaction. It says, on the 10th of April 2024, one of the students lost a parent, and 100 was spent on fuel to travel, and 200 as condolence to the family. So here we'll come to charts of accounts in order to open up, make general journals. Yes, open up general journals. We first change the date because the date was different. Date was 10th. Date was 10th of April. So first open up the cash account. Then you have to create a fuel account. After open up the fuel account, it's not inside, so you have to add a new one. We come to other types, other expenses. Then we create a fuel account. So we save and close. So they say 100 was spent on fuel, so we will credit 100k on the cash account, and then we debit fuel with 100k. So then we'll come and save and new. So I have to create again the cash account. The next one was condolences. We don't have condolences, you have to create a new account. Come to other accounts, then other expense, continue. Create condolences. Create a new account, save and close. So credit 200k. Here it's 200. Then we debit 200 in the condolence account. Yes, then we come and save and close. Yes, we come and save and close. So yeah, we'll be done with all our transactions. Then we come and review our financial reports. Yes, I will start with the profit or loss. And this is our profit and loss. Let me first change the date to 1st of January, then to 1st of May. Yep, then I refresh. So this is our profit and loss. We had a negative of 40,820. Yes. So let me show you the balance sheets standard. This is how it looks like. And it balanced, total assets and total liabilities. Balanced. Yeah, thank you. So this was our presentation. And this was group 1. Thank you, sir, for listening.